chat number 259. Today is February the 6th. This is still 2022. And we are talking about doing you in 2022. I have a quick question. Carol Lou knows what next Sunday is, but I don't know if she's participating. I think she'll know what I mean. But does anybody know what happens next Sunday, actually, like during the chat? Anybody? Does anybody have a clue what happens next Sunday? I think during the chat. I'll still be here. I will still be here, but does anybody know what's going on? Any answers? And thank you, Hattie, for sharing that. Hattie just shared the homework for today. Hashtag practice makes perfect. Vicki knows what's going on. Hopefully y'all are going to say it's the chat's going on. That's not it. Yep, Rosie, the Super Bowl. So, yep, Kim, the Super Bowl. I don't know. And I'm just picking out Carol Lou because yeah, that's exactly right. See, because Carol Lou is the only person who I know who her team is, because that's also Casey's team. So yeah, so I figure Carol Lou will be here with us because her team didn't make it. So sorry. Okay, so this is the first time in history. I don't know if it's the first time in history. John will have to clear that up. But it's the first time in a long time that two underdog weren't supposed to make it teams are in the Super Bowl. So I hope that if you all are watching the Super Bowl next week, like John will be, that you will also be here for the chat. Even if you just turn the chat on and pretend like you're here while you're watching the game, that would be super awesome. And your reward for that is we will be talking about, yeah, and Marianne says the chat's next week. There's nothing else next week, so I'll be here. Yeah, me too. I mean, I want to watch part of the Super Bowl, but I'd rather be here with you all. So, oh no, and Loretta says, my Casey and Mahomes didn't make it. Of course, you know I cannot not call him Mahomes. It's impossible. You cannot not call him Mahomes. Anyway, so your reward for saying that you will be here during the Super Bowl, whether you are or not, and thank you, Elaine, is we're going to talk about a Super Bowl taco party. So I'm going to show you how to make a Super Bowl taco bar. Well, we're not going to put it out in the dishes, you know, and everything. I'll take pictures of it when it is out in the Super Bowl actual taco bar. But I'm going to show you some quick things you can do for a Super Bowl taco bar. So a taco bar is so easy. It is such an easy thing. Everybody likes tacos. I don't know anyone who doesn't like tacos. You might not all like the same things in your tacos, but everybody likes a good taco. And John and I went to a party. I don't know. It's been a couple of months ago, and it was like a housewarming, barn warming, you know, whatever. It's for some friends of ours that they've purchased a farm, and they have an amazing barn on the farm. But they're going to be building a nice big home, and they've come from a loft downtown where we live to being on a farm in a small farmhouse. And then anyway, whatever. So the point of the story is they had a lot of people over to celebrate, you know, this new adventure that they're on. But they're vegan, or she is anyway. The wife is vegan, and they have friends from literally every walk of life. So they have friends who are not vegan, who are vegetarian. They have friends that are meat eaters. You know, I mean, they have just they're from all, you know, walks of life. So to have something that everybody could eat, she had a taco bar, and it was perfect. So I'm going to show you a few things you can do to have a Weight Watcher friendly taco bar, but also one that your friends will enjoy. So even her meat eating friends loved the taco bar. I'm just saying. Okay, the first thing is you need to get some lower point tortillas. You can get hard shell tacos. They're not, you know, like hard taco shells. They're not that many points, but you're going to be able to make more tacos if you'll go ahead and do soft tacos. Or, you know, you can cook these. I don't know if you know this or not, but you can bake these. You can drape them over. Something to make a taco shell. And I don't have time to show you tonight how to do this, but you can actually take tortillas, like especially the small street taco size, and you can put them in between turn a muffin tin upside down and put them in between the humps and spray them and bake them, and you can make your own hard shell tacos. We're not making those tonight. That takes way too long, but I am in love with La Banderita. So I've been eating Olay Extreme Wellness high fiber tortillas forever. I've been eating those forever. But these are like they're real flour tortillas, and I don't know why they're so few points. But you can have like, it's like 3 or 4 of these for, for 1 point. And the brand is La Banderita. I'll show, these are the street taco size. So you can see, it makes a little street taco. This one is and they call it another, what size do they call this one? There's one that's kind of in between this one. This one's like 1 point, and then the one that's a little bit smaller than this, you can have 2 of them for 1 point. But the brand is La Banderita, and they're the carb counter. And I'm telling you, it is a flour tortilla. I mean, it's just a flour tortilla. I can't explain it because it tastes just like a flour tortilla. But I've been using these for everything. So you can do, and I see a couple of y'all are talking about different kinds. So Loretta does carb balance, and let me see, somebody else. Loretta does the extreme or low carb. She does the extreme wellness or the low carb. Those are great too. So just find you a low point tortilla that you're happy with. It's great if it's low points, but it's even better if you're happy with it. So you could use these. You could make this little, you could use the little street taco size to make street tacos. So me personally, I'd rather have 3 street tacos than 1 giant taco. Okay. This bigger size, we're probably going to use like for quesadillas or something, or whatever I have left. We can make quesadillas the next night because I'm not going to eat it 2 and 3 nights in a row. Might be the same ingredients, but it won't be the same thing. Hello, Roberta. But these are the street taco size, and that can just be made into tacos, street tacos. The bigger size, you could use it if you wanted to make a quesadilla. You could. You can make a giant taco if you wanted to. And Rosie does the Mission Low Carb Flour tortillas. Are those good? The flour ones. There's a size smaller than this that would make a nice, like a regular taco size. You can also take these and drape them over the top of a bowl. So just like turn bowls upside down on a cookie sheet, drape them over the top. Sometimes you have to wet them just a tiny bit to make them drape nicely. Spray them with some nonstick spray and cook them in the oven until they're crisp, and you could make like a shell. So if you wanted to make a taco salad, you could also do that. So first find you a good low point, something to put tacos in. And again, there's nothing wrong with hard shell tacos. They're just, I think the kind that I've been getting are 2, I think it's 2 points for 1 hard shell. Sometimes I want hard shells, but I'm loving these right now. Then you got to figure out what you're going to fill it with. So if you chose chicken as one of your 0 point foods, I highly suggest, this is so easy, especially if you're going to be doing this, if you're going to be having like a Super Bowl party. If this taco bar is for more than just, this will just be for me and John, but if this taco bar is for more, more people than just you, I highly recommend getting these. I've gotten to where I buy them probably a couple of times a month. It is Tyson grilled oven ready, and make sure it's the one that doesn't have a lot of extra stuff. There's one, like this for me is 0 because chicken breast is 0. I chose that as one of my 0 point foods. And so I've got right now in the freezer, I have the oven roasted diced chicken breast, and I have the shredded chicken breast. It also comes in a chicken tender, but this one, the diced one or the shredded chicken, this kind, is fantastic on a taco or as a quesadilla. And again, if you have chicken as a 0 point food, this is going to be 0 points for you. So that's a good one to keep in the freezer because it's super easy. You just heat it up a little bit. And then put it on whatever you're going to eat it on. I'm also making some with, now when you set this out, you don't have to announce to people, oh, that's grilled chicken breast, because it's 0 on Weight Watchers, unless they are one of your accountability buddies and they need to know how many points it is. They don't need to know that. Okay. They literally don't need to know that. That's one thing. I mean, to reach gold medal status, which, I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure I am gold medal status because it just doesn't bother me anymore. Gold medal status means you do not announce, I'm dieting. We had to have this taco bar because Kelly said we had to have a taco bar because I can't have normal food. This is normal food, okay? So if you're bronze level or below, I'm going to say below bronze level, if you're new at this, you're in the Junior Olympics, then you're still announcing what you're eating. You don't need to tell people things. This is delicious. John eats he eats this. Alyssa eats this. It's just good food, okay? And it's just regular food. So also not announcing things unless you have someone who's sensitive to, some ingredients. I'll also be making some taco meat with the cauli crumble. And this is from Big Mountain Foods. This is cauliflower. So if you wanted to have a veggie version of this, if you wanted to have a veggie version of your taco bar, you didn't want to do real hamburger meat, you can do real hamburger meat. You didn't want to do real hamburger meat, or you didn't want to do chicken, if you wanted to do something, vegetarian or vegan based. But if you're sensitive to soy, or if you have friends who can't have tofu or can't have soy, this is a cauliflower base. So this is vegan. It's got tons of protein, made with fresh vegetables, gluten-free, soy-free, nut-free, and it's free of common allergens, which I think they're referring to soy. Is when they say free of common allergens, I think that's what they're referring to. So I was just going to tell you real quick what's in it. It has Canadian yellow split peas, cauliflower, red pepper, sunflower seeds, coconut oil, sunflower oil, onion, salt, garlic, tomato powder. This is all food. Okay, I haven't read off any weird things yet. Let's see, salt, garlic, tomato powder, black pepper, smoked paprika, less than 1% yeast extract, natural flavor, and has liquid smoke for flavor. So this does not have soy in it. Okay. So it's a cauli, like, I don't know like a cali crumble. I don't know. I guess that's what they're saying. Anyway, I'm just saying, if you wanted to have a meatless version, this does not have any soy in it. Okay, so that would be a great one for that. So you kind of need to decide what's going to go in it. Then I like to smear things inside of my tacos. Sometimes I'll put black beans, but if beans, well, and if beans are a 0-point food for you. So when you went through your assessment, if you chose beans as a 0-point food, then you should be able to use fat-free refried beans, which means, and the fat-free just means it doesn't have any fat added to it. So the beans are naturally don't have fat in them, this kind of fat in them. So if you get fat-free refried beans or fat-free refried black beans, or you can use regular pinto beans, or you can use regular black beans. I don't know, in a taco, I like refried beans, either refried pinto beans or refried black beans, to kind of smear it on the tortilla. I don't know, I just like it that way. So it's more like I hate to call it mayonnaise, but anyway, it's not like mayonnaise. But that should be 0 points for you if you chose beans as one of your 0-point foods. But I mean, if you get it as the refried kind, and especially if you're the refried kind, and especially if you're using these street taco size tacos, you're not going to be using more than like a tablespoon or two. So even if you have to count it, it's still not going to be a lot of points. Another good thing to smear on there, because John's not going to eat avocado. So if I buy an avocado for this taco bar, John's not going to eat it. So I do have ways, I've got a food hugger that I can use to preserve it, but I don't know. We're not going to go through a ton of salsa. We're not going to go through a ton of guacamole. And if I just present it as an avocado, he's just not going to eat it. I don't know what else to say. He's just not going to eat it. So instead, you can either get, so if you have that same situation where you think, I kind of want guacamole on my taco, but I don't want to make a whole lot because I don't know who's going to eat it, and it kind of gets funky fast. And you don't want to have to be responsible for eating, all of it. So sometimes I buy the little individual guacamoles. I'm gonna be honest, I don't ever make guacamole because I have no one else in my life that will help me eat it. Okay, I know one other person who eats guacamole, and they're never at my house. So we only get it. It's one of John's friends. We got it out one time, but no one else in my family eats guacamole. So it would be senseless for me to make it. If you have a family full of people who love it, make it. Because if you chose avocado as one of your 0-point foods, it could be 0 depending on what you add to it. But instead, since it's just me eating the guacamole, then and Vicky says, so do I. It's just enough. So I buy the little singles, but this I thought would be so fun for my taco bar. It's a guacamole, but it also has pico. It has spicy pico on it. So I'm not going to have to open, because I'm all about the reducing my food waste this year. So I'm not going to have to open a thing of salsa and an individual thing of guacamole. I got this as one thing, and this is spicy. It's holy guacamole, spicy pico and guacamole layered dip, and it's hot. And if you had avocado on your 0 points list, this would be 0. So I currently don't have avocado on my 0 points list, and it was 1 point per tablespoon. But again, I mean, a little bit's going to go a long way. So, and yeah, and Vicky says, yeah, I'm going to have to try that. I can't wait to try it. I think it's going to be so good. So that's another thing that you could, you know, smear on there. Seasonings, I think, are going to be important. So y'all know how much I love the taco night from Dax, because it's salt-free, MSG-free, you know, all those icky things free. But they just brought out, or actually it's been out for a couple of months now, but we've not talked a lot about it. They just brought out a street taco version. So again, this is, you know, it's all natural, no MSG, no salt, none of those weird, you know, crazy ingredients. It has dehydrated garlic, turmeric, other kinds of spices, dehydrated onion, chipotle pepper, and black pepper. Carol Lou, I think you are my gringo, aren't you? Where are my gringos? Where are my people who just can't eat things that are hot? Pretty sure Carol Lou's one of them. What is it? One of the girls that works here calls it milk toast. She says I have milk. She says she has milk toast belly, meaning that she can't eat anything spicy. So for my milk toast belly girls, for my gringo girls, it's spicy. It was good. It's really good though. Okay, so for those of you, I mean, it's not like, okay, I didn't think, when I show you what I'm getting ready to show you, you're going to think, oh, she's crazy. She's crazy. Yeah, me. It's Carol Lou. She has a baby tongue. That's pretty sure it was you. So Carol Lou, you don't need to get this. For anybody else who thinks, oh, Sylvia's a pepper belly, so am I. For anybody who thinks they can handle it, it's really good. It's really good, and I'm going to show you something here in just a minute. I think I'm talking fast enough that we will get to that. So this is really good on the chicken. It's really good in the cauli crumble. You know, the veggie grounds. If you get, like, I also like pea protein. And who is it? Better, let me think. Beyond Beef. Beyond Beef has a good pea protein veggie crumble too. Or if you just want to make it out of ground turkey, ground chicken, ground beef. It's really good. And we sell this here at Casey Kitchen Center. So if you happen to be in or around Knoxville and come by, I think there are 5 of these left right now. I mean, we can get more. But we have the street taco, and then we also have the taco night. 2 different flavors. It really is 2 different flavors. So, okay, then that's something like that. So your seasoning, any kind of taco seasoning, something like that, it could be 0 points for you. So I think it's important to make, I mean, you know, it's a fiesta, you know, you're having a taco bar. So I think it's important to do that. Don't forget to use some kind of, Kim's a pepper, Kim, of course you're a pepper belly. Look where you live. You probably put Tabasco or some kind of hot sauce on everything, right? Because that's what all of us here think all of y'all there do, is that y'all eat shrimp all the time and hot sauce and grits. I think shrimp and grits and hot sauce. That's what y'all eat all day long, right? It's just like Canada. It snows 24 hours a day in Canada, right? Am I right? Okay. Don't forget some kind of greens. This one was a nice shredded green leaf mix that I found today. I don't normally go to Ingles, but I happened to be out that way. So that is what y'all eat every day, Kim. But I happened to be out that way. So, you know, so I popped into one, and this one is just finely shredded green leaf lettuce for taco sandwiches and salads. So it is just green leaf lettuce. This one looked so much prettier than the shredded iceberg lettuce. Green leaf, I guess, has a tiny bit more nutrition. I mean, like iceberg lettuce just seems non-nutritional at all to me. But anyway, this one looked a little better. I think this would be pretty sitting in, you know, in a little bowl for people to help them, you know, help themselves to make their tacos or to make their taco salad. So don't forget to add something like this. If you happen to have a super cool weed dealer like I do, and I don't use that term lightly, so my weed dealer grows baby cilantro, okay? Cilantro microgreens. Oops, I haven't opened this all the way yet. So these are, let me get a few out and show you what they look like. Put your favorite herbs, you know, put your favorite herbs out. But if you happen, and this is not even going to do it justice, but if you happen to have access to cilantro microgreens, trust me, your guests are going to be thrilled. That is the freshest, non-soapy, you know, for those of you who think cilantro tastes soapy, is the freshest cilantro. And see, I had Dusty's attention for just a second. Freshest cilantro ever. Anyway, so if you have access to cilantro microgreens, I highly recommend getting some. They're going to be fantastic on this taco bar. If you are in Knoxville, Seymour, if you're in the they're actually out of Seymour. So if you happen to be in Knoxville, Seymour, South Knoxville, you know, somewhere in this area, they will come out this direction. We're in just barely West Knoxville, but this is called Little Row Farms. They are fantastic people, and they have lots of other microgreens, but if you are in this area, trust me, it's worth it. And you can pick these up now at Pratt's. So I'm pretty sure they have the cilantro microgreens at Pratt's. If you're from around here, you know where I'm talking about. If you're not, sorry. Okay, so I have used so many things in this that are going to be 0 points for me that I'm going to splurge, and instead of getting some kind of light shredded cheese, I went ahead and got, and I have no idea how to pronounce this, cacique? Cacique is the brand name. It's Cacique, but it's Mexican style queso dip, queso blanco. And this is in the refrigerated section, and I'm just going to heat it up. I'm going to keep it warm, you know, when it's time to serve it. And it's 1 point per tablespoon. But I can do 3 or 4 of these little tortillas for 1 point. Chicken is a 0 point for me. The refried beans are 0 point for me. Obviously, the lettuce is a 0 point for me. Obviously, the microgreens are a 0 point for me. So, and this is going to be 1 point per tablespoon for me. So I'm going to splurge and have this queso dip. And John will love this. He loves all things queso. So just remember to kind of, you know, I mean, make it flavorful for yourself. And if you're using so many things that are low or 0 points, you know, kind of spice it up a little bit with something like this. Because, I mean, how fun is queso cheese dip? Okay, real quick, because we're going to run out of time. Along that same vein, if you have selected non-fat plain Greek yogurt as one of your 0 point foods, please use it as sour cream. I don't know why it tastes so good as sour cream, but on a taco, non-fat plain Greek yogurt is a fantastic sour cream. If you're like me, and you did not choose non-fat plain Greek yogurt as a 0 point food, you might as well use real sour cream and save the non-fat plain Greek yogurt for when you're eating yogurt or making a recipe that requires it. So Daisy Light Sour Cream, I like it in this squeeze because I can control a little bit better, you know, how much I'm using. And this is 1 point per tablespoon. So yeah, so that's another good one to put on there. And let me think, is this the last? No, almost last. On those low point tortillas, I don't know if you know this or not, but you can cut them up and put a little bit of nonstick spray, or you can spray some olive oil for, if you've got an Evo sprayer like I do, you can spritz that on there and then put a little bit of nutritional yeast on there, your favorite taco seasoning, and you can make your own strips. So I don't know if you go to a restaurant or if you go somewhere, if you were making these into like a taco salad, if you go somewhere where they serve like some kind of crispy, like some kind of strips on top. So this one, let's get this one that has all the spice on it. So this one, these are just the little La Banderita low carb, and then I cut them into little strips. And the pizza cutter is the easiest thing to cut these into little strips. Spritzed them with some olive oil, and then I'll put nutritional yeast and the Dax Street Taco spice on there. So I made myself some little crispy strips to go on top if I make this into a taco salad by like day 3. Okay, delicious. But don't leave, because this is my favorite thing tonight, and I will be posting this later as a recipe. I love, y'all have seen me eat these before, different brands, just depending on where I'm at. But I love candied jalapeno slices. Now, don't get me wrong, I love jalapenos. I love just jalapenos, I love pickled jalapenos, but I love candied jalapenos. But this is it's 2 points for like 14 jalapenos. That's kind of a lot of an investment. So instead, I made some in the air fryer. I took a fresh jalapeno, washed it. You have to wash them first, then dry them. You have to pat them dry before you do this. They don't turn out right if they're damp. So pat them dry. If you are sensitive to things like this, for heaven's sake, do not cut this up and then touch your face. Okay. Like, I'm totally fine because I know how to handle these. But anyway, do not cut up a jalapeno or a habanero or anything, especially not like a ghost pepper or something, and then touch your face. If you have sensitive skin, you might want to wear some, some gloves. But what you're going to do, clean these, pat them dry, slice them thinly, put them in the bottom of your air fryer, spritz with some kind of nonstick spray or some olive oil, and then you're going to sprinkle them with either Truvia baking blend or monk fruit, some kind of sweetener, but it needs to tend more towards sugar. See, I like the Truvia because it has just a little bit of actual sugar in there. And then I cooked them in the air fryer. I cooked them in the air fryer on 400, and it was for about 8 minutes until the edges started just to crystallize a little bit, until that sugar started to crystallize a little bit. Okay, this is a jalapeno. So all of my milk toast belly friends have just passed out, but with that little bit of sugar cooked in the air fryer, it's hot, but it is sweet going down. My gosh, is that good. That is so good. No other spices. It has nothing else on it. It is literally just jalapenos. And I swear I'll post this as a recipe later. But it is jalapenos, washed, dried, sliced, put in the air fryer, a little bit of nonstick spray or some olive oil, and I used Truvia baking blend. Oh my gosh. I mean, y'all saw me just eat that, right? Nothing else with it. Just eat it. So good. Milk toast friends, milk toast belly friends, don't do it. Don't make it. Okay, so I'll get those recipes. I'll do a recipe for the tortilla slices with the, with the spices on them, and for the jalapenos. I'll do that in the next couple of days. But do y'all have any questions about your taco bar? Do you have any thoughts about your taco bar? Would anybody also want to have a taco bar? I'm just curious, because we have like 2 whole minutes left. So what do y'all think about that idea? I mean, I think, again, we're not going to have any guests come over, I don't think. But even if we did, everything that I'm making here, I think they would totally enjoy. So civilians and Weight Watchers alike, would enjoy this. Okay, those jalapeno slices are so good. I'm literally sitting here thinking about eating another one. Those would be really good on eggs too, just saying. Okay, so I don't see a lot. Sylvia wants to have a taco bar. So if you have a taco bar, tag me in it, because I would love to see what you make. And when we get ours all spread out, then I will take a picture of it for you. But I hope that gave y'all some great ideas for Super Bowl. You don't have to just sit around and eat chips and dips and pizza, okay? Just saying. Oh, yeah, Vicky says she sounds like she might for her mom and I. That sounds good. Oh, and Carol Lou did a taco bar for their sister's getaway weekend. You are going to have to tell us what you made for that, because she said it went over very well with a vegan sister. And okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go, because I got to pack all this up and head home. But you all have a great week. Thank you for letting me have last week off. I do think it helped my voice, even though we didn't intend for that to be what last weekend was. But y'all have a good one. Can't wait to see you next week and see who you're cheering on, even though Carol's going to be crying in her Cheerios. But anyway, so everybody have a great week, and we will see you later. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and let that next video roll over. I promise you're going to like it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that button right here, and then click on that little bell, and it will remind you when a new video is up. But y'all have a great week, and I will see you next time. And now I'm hungry for some tacos. Good night. See you next week.